This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you the part 2 of the exclusive interview with Bishow Parajuli, the World Food Programme representative and country director to India. The interviewer is Dr. Atul Kumar Tiwari, our Foreign Affairs editor.
Namaskar and welcome to this edition. We have with us Mr. Bishow Parajuli. Mr. Bishow Parajuli joined as the World Food Programme representative and country director to India in September 2019. He has more than 35 years of experience in development, humanitarian affairs, diplomacy, fundraising and management in over 10 countries in Asia, Middle East and Africa and WFP headquarters in Rome. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Atulji. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm delighted to talk to All India Radio. It's one of a historic radio channel and very, very informative. Thank you very much indeed.
We begin our discussions on a note that India has offered to supply 50,000 metric tons of wheat to Afghanistan, and very soon these supplies are going to be initiated from the Pakistan land route to Afghanistan. And we are thankful to World Food Programme to have partnered in this initiative. As listeners might recall, very recently, the Indian Embassy in Rome signed an agreement with the World Food Programme office there to see to it that the supplies of 50,000 metric tons of wheat are facilitated so that they reach out to the needy and the poor people in Afghanistan. So it's a really welcome sign of partnership in terms of India and the UN agency. Your take on this, sir?
The World Food Programme is really delighted for India's offer of partnership with the World Food Programme to help the people of Afghanistan. In fact, I have participated in similar types of partnership in Yemen when I was previously posted. So it is a great news that India joining hand to help Afghani population, and India showing its humanity in the crisis time where Afghanistan is faced by a serious food crisis. Almost half of the population are hungry, and therefore any support and all the support countries can provide would be a big help. And of course, India's support is absolutely warmly welcome, and in WFP we want to see this only as a beginning and want to have increased cooperation between the World Food Programme and India in Afghanistan, in other countries in crisis. In fact, there is so much food insecurity in the world, and India has been blessed in many ways with the plenty of food and good harvest, abundance, major transformation in its production. So absolutely delighted of this partnership.
The World Food Programme, I saw on the Twitter, has lauded India's initiative and said that this agreement opens the door for a fruitful relation, and more such humanitarian aid efforts will be coming in the times to come with the help of other organizations. In the current situation, how is World Food Programme going to facilitate the supply of wheat to Afghanistan?
You know, the first agreement which we have just signed is for a start of the amount which you refer. It's for about 10,000 tons. And India is going to be delivering this in Kandahar. And from there, WFP, with its own structure and manpower and logistics setup it has, will take it to the farthest point in and within Afghanistan. In fact, WFP currently has about 176 trucks of its own. It's going to increase over 200 units, and it has close to 580 staff in Afghanistan. So because what we make sure in WFP is the food reaches to the people who need it. And this is what we ensure in our program and operations across the world.
You mentioned that the premier UN agency ensures that the food reaches out to the needy and the people who really require it. Many international agencies and the governments have said that one of the key issues in terms of outreach of the aid in Afghanistan is to ensure that it should be distributed in a non-discriminatory manner. How are you going to ensure it?
all humanitarian aid follow humanitarian principle, which is making it deliver to the needy without any discrimination, non-interference, and in a way that there is a full accessibility. The good thing is WFP has been in the country for many years through the thick and thin periods, and we have proven ourselves as a humanitarian, and we are trusted partners across the world. And everybody knows WFP, when it's involved, it makes sure everyone needing receives it. And furthermore, WFP also ensures to its donors that there is a full accountability of the aid WFP receives and reported and accounted. So therefore, we have a full mechanism through the network of staff, the partner civil society organization, and trucks, the logistics mechanism. So we're expert in that. So, we make sure it happens, and we're trusted by everybody.
We saw India made the offer way back in October. Then the negotiations went on for about 3 months. And then finally, India signed an agreement with the World Food Program. In the meanwhile, the contours of the program, how it will be distributed, how it will reach out, all this process, how has it evolved, and what level the deliberations were held?
First of all, it also has been a COVID period, sadly. And we had a third wave of COVID. Sadly, that has had some element of delays in formalizing these. And also the transiting part, I guess India was negotiating the transiting. Maybe there was some time into that process. But the moment we signed off on our cooperation, we have laid down everything. My colleagues in the country have worked out, and we are ready to sort of take the food to the mouth of those who really need it. And we take a pride in our commitment to save lives and improve lives, and it is a huge challenge. The overall need for humanitarian aid, the food component for WFP, is about $220 million per month. So it's over $2 billion operation. At the moment, there is 7 million people are being covered, and the target is to reach 22 million. Imagine the scale we are looking at it. And sadly, a huge number of people are considered extremely vulnerable and verged of famine. And we as a humanity cannot afford to do that. And therefore, India joining in with WFP, supporting the Afghan, is absolutely a welcome. And it also sets the principle of Vasudeva Kutumbakam of India.
If I can recall, some time back, you wrote a piece of article regarding how India's food security network during the COVID times has really shown it to the world that how you can reach out to the people during the hard times. Your take on this aspect?
I wrote a few months back precisely to share this good lesson and to demonstrate that how one should address these type of food concern of food insecurity and nutrition issues, and in terms of policy, in terms of activities, in terms of outreach. In terms of policy, India has this food security law, which makes it obligatory to provide these support programs. This is number one. Number two, during the crisis time like this time, India used those existing programs to launch under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, these new program for 2 years to top up, because people had lost jobs and they had no source of income. And that time, protecting and supporting citizens with the basic thing, food, great example. So therefore, it was great. Furthermore, there were, although lockdown, other things, there were priority put on delivery of food, farm produced, harvest, marketing, and everything. So those moved smoothly. And furthermore, I was looking at some of these statistics you will see in my op-ed. The railway doubled its capacity. In fact, the communities, institutions joined in to provide cooked meal. There were volunteers serving thousands of hot meals. Some of these states dropped the restriction on ration cards, and everybody who needed it were given. And there were provision of cash support, there were kitchen, lunch, and there were public announcements to say that if anyone doesn't have food or need food, reach out these numbers. Very impressive.
it has been said that the technology has really been a game changer in terms of if you talk of reaching out a product from the folk to the farm, to the field, to the people. The role of technology in the evolution of agriculture and also in terms of making the food security an operational concept. How has World Food Programme contributed to it, and what are the scopes of this technological integration of ideas and thoughts with the countries in the region?
Frankly, if I say too much about what I have seen and what India is doing, it sounds like patronage, but it's not patronage. I'm just stating the facts. India has embraced technology in every front, and that is really a fantastic and great example. I mean, the reference I made about farmers bringing the food and receiving cash within 48 hours, it happens because of technology. And it happens because technology, the farmers receive a SMS saying, bring your supplies. Now, this public distribution program, which provides food ration to 800 million people, they have a biometric record at these fair price shops, either the thumb or the iris. I have witnessed it in many fair price shops. The people come, there is no card, they come, they put their thumb on this, and then in this little box, their detail comes in, and then they are given the food immediately. So what it does? Paperless, bogus recipients are dropped, and there is a technology to confirm an account, what has been received. So the more recent is One Nation, One Card system, which India has introduced. Anyone from any part of India going to the other parts and carrying ration card, they can benefit from that. So I think there is a full advantage being taken of the technology. I think that is the right thing to do. And I would tell you one more thing. We have been always part of this process. 2008 or so, we piloted this biometric system in Odisha. That has become a national level. We have also now introduced a system, we are still trying, a grain ATM, which is dispensing you grain, same way as other biometric system. You go to that ATM, you put your thumb, and then depending on your entitlement, you draw the grain.
So it's something like a food ATM?
Absolutely. We call it Annapurti. We have given an Indian name for it, and it's done in joint partnership with the Department of Food. We have now in Haryana, UP, and Odisha. And we are planning to introduce in a number of other states, but we are improvising the speed of drawing down the quantities and creating it independent. So a laborer cannot go during daytime because he is a wage earner. Can go in the evening or morning and take his or her ration.
Really nice to listen from you these good words, Mr. Parajuli. The World Food Programme Country Director in India. What is your favorite food?
Oh, I love all sorts of food. Last week I was in Odisha. I enjoyed Odia food very much. Seafood. In fact, I went to the market because I always like to also see what's fresh in the market and what's the economy and all that. My favorite is dal and also lots of vegetables. I like biryanis.
So it seems you are quite a proponent of healthy, nutritious food, and the things you mention are quite rich in protein.
Yeah, I make a very conscious effort, to be honest, not to eat too much of calorie at my age. And also, I make sure I have a balanced intake in my daily consumption between calorie, protein, vitamin, and mineral. I don't take any artificial support tablets or anything like that. I do exercise every day.
Rightly so, as the people and the nation, all of them, they look forward to the ideas which contribute towards the growth of a healthy nation and healthy continent in the times to come. Pleasure talking to you, Mr. Parajuli. Thanks a lot for sharing your valuable time and sharing your insights with our listeners.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
You were listening to the part 2 of the exclusive interview with Bishow Parajuli, the World Food Programme representative and country director to India. The interviewer was Dr. Atul Kumar Tiwari, a foreign affairs editor. This program is produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on a mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsdtalks@gmail.com.